Jeremy, Jenny, thank you very much. You're taking a look at the Phoenix. It is as beautiful here in Phoenix, Glendale, and Scottsdale as advertised. And yes, I'm here with Brady, Quinn, and Pete Prisco. So, guys, we're going to talk about something, Pete, that you have on CBSSports.com. Tell me quickly the process before we break things down of all the starters in the Super Bowl here.
Yeah, I used to do 46, counting the two nickel corners, but since they're now starters and the third linebacker isn't, I got them off the field, so I do 44, and I rank them 1 through 44.
You eliminated the linebacker, huh?
Yeah, just like the league has.
I thought you were going to try to eliminate running backs the way you feel about
They're
running backs.
They're next. They're coming. So I rank them all 1 through 44 based on my evaluation, based on...
Hold on. Let's pause there. Your evaluation for this year, the playoffs, their career?
This year.
Okay.
This year.
How long did it take, Pete?
It takes long. It took last week I did it.
Okay. So we're going to pick apart a little bit of
and
that.
Brady's going to pick it apart.
Yes,
of course, he's going to, like he picks everything I do apart.
It's not my list. I'll try to ask some questions from time to time about where you got guys ranked. I will admit this. The first 6 of your list, knowing you, I predicted, and our producer Jack will co-sign this, exactly how they were. I think I got like 7 of your first 8. And the top 10 was relatively easy to kind of predict based on how you think. Here's what's surprising. It's not surprising to see Mahomes at quarterback number 1, Kelsey at number 2, or Chris Jones at number 3. To me, it's Kelsey at 4, and it's not because he's not a future Hall of Famer, in my opinion. It's because of the position. Usually, it's a passers league. So you would rank those guys, the quarterback, the left tackle, the rusher.
It's not a valuable list.
Well, that's what I'm saying is typically that's how you look at this. So I was a bit surprised to see 3 interior offensive line players in your top 10, not because they're not good enough to be there, but because of the position they play and the importance in the game in today's game.
Well, if it was most valuable to the team, you might have Jalen Hurts at number 2, wouldn't you? Behind Patrick Mahomes.
You would think that, but
it's
again,
not,
you can rank it.
It's not the most valuable. It's how good you are at your position and where you should be ranked in terms of the rest of the players. It's not most valuable. It's how good are you.
Okay. Well, again, I think you've got some good players that should be ranked a little higher.
Okay.
For example, A.J. Brown, I think, has been better than Creed Humphrey, even though Creed Humphrey's played really well so far in his career. A.J. Brown, to me, has been more of an impact, maybe the biggest impact of any free agent signing or any veteran player that's been traded during this past offseason.
Even though Devontae Smith caught more passes than he did.
And that's fine because everyone's going to pay attention to A.J. Brown.
All right. Well, look, I don't have a problem with you arguing that one. I could see it go the other way.
The one I think you're underselling is you got Lane Johnson at number 5. I love Lane Johnson, everything about him. I think the importance of a tackle spot. You can even make a case he should be ahead of Kelsey, even though Kelsey, again, to me, is a future Hall of Famer. I think Lane Johnson probably might be considered in that conversation too, is Jordan Mailata. I think the world of that young man from how he got into the league, what he's meant for this team, and just the job I think he does in the run blocking in particular. It's going to show up in this game.
Look, 14? That's high.
No, it should be higher.
No, who is he better than?
I'd put him ahead of Joe Tooney, especially considering he's a left tackle. He's the blindside left tackle.
Again, it's not value. It's how well you play the position.
This is your opinion. It doesn't matter what I say.
Look, you're right about Mailata. He's one of the best run blockers at the tackle position in the league. At times,
he's pretty darn good at pass pro,
He's improved in pass protection, but at times he can have a problem in pass protection, which is why he's down a little lower. But 14 for a guy, come on, Brady, that's a good ranking.
Because he was a rugby player, going to hold it against him?
Because he's a self-made player.
And he's got the voice of an angel, Pete. I mean, where did that factor in your evaluation?
It didn't.
It should have.
Nor does any off-the-field stuff.
Great to see L'Jarius Sneed on that list again. He cleared concussion protocol coming off of that injury in the AFC Championship game. Hey, I get paid to segue. That's what we're doing here. Pete, we're taking a look at now 21 to 30, and we continue down your list here.
Why Hargraves so far down the list at 21? Yeah. He had a great year.
He did have a good year, but who are you putting him ahead of?
I mean, again, I'd probably change this up a little bit.
If you're gonna,
well, I'd put him ahead of Trey Smith. I'd put him ahead of Dallas Goedert. I'd put him ahead of Frank Clark based on the year he had too. Even though Frank Clark's been a big time player in the playoffs for them,
and he's always been a big time player in the playoffs.
Right, but the season, if you're looking at the season as a whole, I don't think he's been as good as Javon Hargrave.
Yeah, Hargrave. You could make a case for Hargrave moving up a little bit, but I thought Goddard it had a good year when he was on the field. He missed time, so that hurt him. Trey Smith has been a beast in their offense.
You got L'Jarius Sneed pretty high up there at 16, in my opinion. Not to go back to that list, but that's a guy I'm kind of looking at too, thinking if a rookie can come in and play pretty well the way Williams did in his place, do you not look at that and go, all right, maybe I've got him too high on this list?
He's had one of his best seasons, if not his best season.
I don't doubt that, but also that young secondary played well behind him.
Oh, I agree, but I think he deserved to be up where he is. The guy that people might pick apart is Josh Sweat at 17.
Why?
But if you watch the tape, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
Pete, you also don't have a lot of love for running backs. You had Miles Sanders at 27, I saw there on your...
I'm shocked he's that high in Pete's rankings.
You do have 3 of them that can run the ball in that offense, don't they? I mean,
yes.
So they use 3 guys? that means you're not that good at doing what you do. Otherwise, you'd be on the field that much more. I mean, he's a good player, but he's not a great player. He's a running back by committee running back is what Miles Sanders is.
Did you factor in the offensive line, how dominant Philly's been up front?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I kind of look at Pacheco with where you have him ranked. He's at 33, of Miles Sanders at 27. I might want to switch those two, considering how good Pacheco's been. And I'm not saying the Kansas State's offensive line isn't good. I think Philly's, to me, the best in the NFL.
They are, and they're a run-based offense where the other one is not. But, look, those running backs are all kind of interchangeable, if you ask me.
Okay.
All right, we saw Karlaftis tonight rounding out that top 30 list. But again, we're talking about other players, and you can find the entire list on CBSSports.com. All right, we're going to talk about the Pick Six podcast, by the way, which Brady Quinn will be a part of today. Can you give us a little tease of what you and Brinson are going to be cooking?
Yeah, it probably will be a little bit of the Super Bowl, little football talk, and the rest is Lord knows what with the way Will gets off on tangents.
Will goes one way and then comes back the other way, and then he goes way back that way.
It'll be a yuck fest, I think.
Yuck, yuck.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.